Greetings from Leiden University. My name is Ton Liefvaart and I hold the UNICEF Chair in Children's Rights at Leiden Law School, Leiden University. In 2015, we started the Master of Laws program, Advanced Studies in International Children's Rights. And that is a small-scale, international, and I would argue unique program in the world, entirely devoted to the field of international children's rights. This year, 2025, we commemorate the 10th anniversary of this program, and that is providing us with a unique opportunity to revisit and reconnect with our former students. So we revisit our alumni, so to say. And today, I have the great pleasure of talking to Chandrima again, and it has been a while. Chandrima, nice to see you, and maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me here. I'm Chandrima. I did the LL.M Advanced Children's Rights Program from 2019 to 2020. So just before the COVID started briefly. Soon after that, I started working at Kids' Rights. I worked as a project officer and then a coordinator there. I authored 2 Kids' Rights indexes, and currently I'm a Ph.D. candidate. I work at the intersection of behavioral science and law, and my Ph.D. topic is AI and technology choice behavior, and with a special emphasis on the upcoming EU AI Act.
Oh, fantastic. A very topical issue indeed.
Very topical, yes.
Yeah. All right, Chandrima, wonderful to reconnect. And indeed, 2020 was the year that the world was affected by the pandemic. So it affected the end of your studies.
Yeah.
Can you take us back to the program? What were your first impressions, first experiences when you think back of that?
Absolutely. I came right from field, so I had very little experience with law. Formally, I was a bit concerned when I came to the program as to how I will adapt and what is it that I could bring back to the classroom. And one of the first courses we have is together with Professor Katrine and Professor Ton. And it's one of the most exciting courses that sets the basis for the entire LLM program. And it was super exciting for me because it was bringing us back to law, but kind of connecting us also to all our varied experiences. And I could see the depth in the classroom while this whole legal framework was unfolding in front of us, but we were all coming from different regional frameworks, different national frameworks, different experiences on field. And I could see precisely the intersection of law together with practice and together with the impact it can and sometimes cannot have. And I think that really left a mark on me on what is really the purpose of law, but also what is it that we are here to do. So it's not just the classroom, but it's together, the cohort approach. And also one of the other courses was about digital laws that really shaped me, of course, because I continued in that field together now with my PhD program. And we were struck by COVID, so we couldn't do anything interactive, but we did everything online, which again was about interactions, learning from each other, and in practice, reviewing things that would immediately affect children and their rights. And I think that was the most, crucial and really beneficial part of my learning. But I'm pointing these 2 out now, but overall the program really helped with also going on field. We visited UNICEF offices. We were always talking to practitioners. So it was not just stuck in theory, but so much of a holistic experience with everyone.
Nice. Thank you reflecting on that, both on the courses and the combination of law and practice, as well as your connection with the field. Was there one specific moment that basically defined your studies or what you did with it afterwards?
Yeah, I think it was one of our field visits. I think we went to the detention center, and I think it's just the way that we approach the whole framework of working with children, even when they're in conflict with law. I think that really defined how I looked at children's rights and how it actually plays out day to day for children who are actually affected. And I think also, yeah, one of the key moments was also when we did like this course on immigration law, and we talked to each other about how it is in our own respective countries, how we deal with these situations. And that was also really eye-opening, because you hear a lot about it on the news, and maybe a little bit because you are working in that same field, but to really hear firsthand accounts with people, um, that really, really changes how you look at your own work as more than a work. Like you place someone to make a difference, but there are also already people who are doing so much and making a difference in this field. And that's very humbling.
Yeah, nice to hear. And there you, of course, could take advantage of the international classroom, right? That you have so much diversity in the room,
Yeah,
where in your program basically, and that is really enriching, isn't it? Also for us as teaching staff. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So you already said in the beginning that you, after the studies, you worked for Kids' Rights, and now you do your PhD.
Right.
Can you say something about how you apply what you learned
Yeah.
during the program, either in your previous position or currently as a researcher?
Of course. Yes. So working at Kids' Rights was immediately again very practical based. So I worked with children who were working with social rights issues, and they were their own activists. So they were raising the issues. They wanted help with how to create a campaign around it, how to make it a bigger movement. And talking to them, of course, it's hard to speak in the same language that we were taught in. So it was really about remembering the principles. And I think that was the biggest moment of change I had, of how to convert your learnings into something that you have to embody, but not just say it out loud. So really thinking about when they were raising their own issues about, okay, what would this right to education impact in their movement space? What does it really mean with best interests of the child? So really discussing with them, what do you feel are the trade-offs? What do you feel you are missing in your framework? And definitely learning really at depth about the UNCRC as a legal instrument, I think helped with writing up the report of the Kids' Rights Index. I think that was a very key component where we go back and we look into also what the committee has said about the specific country that we're analyzing. And I think I wouldn't have had the full knowledge or exposure if I hadn't done the course, because that really gives you this approach of how the committee thinks, because we also had the good opportunity to actually meet with committee and also speak to Professor Anne Skelton at that time. So really, really seeing the reasoning of the court to kind of analyze what it would mean for the data that is kind of supplementing the index. So I think that was one key thing. And also right now with my PhD, I look at the EU AI Act, the upcoming, but I also use UNCRC as a legal basis. So what is the right to education? What is right to privacy? And what would that mean in a classroom where you're utilizing digital tools? So I think it was very key in shaping my work.
Yeah, fantastic. And also looking forward to seeing the outcome of your research, which is so
Yes.
topical, but also so important, I think, for children globally. So looking forward
Yeah,
to seeing that.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
happy to share it when I'm done. Yeah,
wonderful. Yeah,
yeah,
Chandrima, there's there may be prospective students listening to
yes,
you, and they may want to go the same path. What would be your piece of advice, or what would be your advice to them?
right. I I think my first advice would be what I really benefited from the most. Take the course, because you will learn a lot more in practice and a lot more about law in practice than just about theoretical frameworks and the legal instruments. And I say this because I did come from a non-legal background, and I loved the robustness of the course because it was legal based. But I also loved how holistically it enabled me to think about what does it really mean in practice, and what could also practice bring to the legal field. And I think this interaction is possible in this specific course and in the manner that it is taught and it's designed currently. And I would really, really encourage a lot of practitioners who are currently in field or would want to be, and if they're passionate about children's rights, that this would be a learning that they can keep for life.
Yeah, fantastic, beautiful, wonderful to indeed through this conversation, and I'm reminded of how you started in the program and that it really now brought you to the field and also to research. So fantastic to hear about that. Thank you so much, Chandrima, and I hope we can stay in touch, and please do share the updates concerning your research with us and also your next steps.
Absolutely.
We'd be very curious to hear more.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandrima. So for those who are interested in the program, if you want to have more information, you can visit our website or you can reach out to us, and we are happy to answer any question you might have. Thank you again, and we look forward to staying in touch.